is my manufacturing program. It's this one here with the wacky icon. First off, I want to apologize about that ringing you probably hear. That's something to do with the microphone. I just have to get a new headset. Anyway, so it's this program right here, wacky icon. Just double click on it, and it shows this interface right here. Now, there's a couple things that don't work or are just useless. So like this thing here, here, and here, don't pay attention to those. Those are useless. Also, this thing right here is useless. Don't pay attention to that. Now, so this program allows you to find out how much it costs to build something and if it would be profitable to build it. So first, we can edit or create a blueprint, because that's what all these files stand for. They are supposed to be like blueprints in the game. So we can go to Abaddon, and if we open it up, it brings up this. Now this first column is all the materials that you need to create the item. The second column is the number of materials of each mineral or whatever. And then this column is the price. Now you can edit all three of these columns. This column right here, it just shows you how much it's going to cost to buy all of these minerals at their market price. This does not take into account taxes when you buy the minerals, though. You can also edit the material efficiency, and you can edit the number of items made per run. So for things like ships, it's only one per run, but for like ammunition like hybrid ammo or projectile ammo, it's 100 per run. For bombs, it's 20 per run. And for fuel blocks, I think it's 40 per run. But I probably have to double check on that. So anyway, now this right here is a job cost. You can set a job cost if you want, but the program can also automatically make an educated guess as to what the job cost would be. Now, normally the job cost is going to be about 1/200th of the cost to manufacture the item. So it costs roughly 200 mil to manufacture this, so the job cost will be about $1 million. It'll be a little more, but about $1 million. Now, this right here, this is the market price, and you can also edit this as well. We can set it to, what the hell, let's set it to 192 million. Alright, and then we can also edit these prices, so let's say 7.5 for pyrite. Yeah. And actually we can create a totally new item, because this right here, that's just the file name. When you hit the save button, you can either edit the file that this information is already in, or you can create a totally new item. Like maybe you have an Abaddon BPC that only has an ME of 7 or something. Or maybe there's a blueprint in here that I have not added to the database, so you can add that if you want. Let's call this a duck. Why not? and instead of a duck having pyrite, it will have an Abaddon as its component. And we'll set the number made per run as 5, and the market price will be 1 million. Okay. So you can hit the enter button, and that will make a ding, letting you know that it actually saved it, just like that. Or you can just click the save button, but it won't make a sound. Now, we've saved a duck as a new blueprint, so we can load that from the file, scroll down to it, it'll be down here somewhere. There's a bunch of files in here. Okay, here it is, a duck. Click open, and you can see here all the information is just right over here. Now you can see that it has the price of 7, and the job cost is just a little over 1 million. Now, when it does these calculations, like these right here, it just does 13.8 million times 5.01 to get this number. However, it does take ME into account. So when it does this calculation, it does, and I forget what the original number is, it might have been like 15 million or something. So it'll do, say, 15 million minus 0.07 times the original number, which I guess is 15 million, and then the outcome will be this number. So, yeah. And so for all this stuff, this all gets added up along with the job cost to make this number. And now the market price of the item is 1 million, but the blueprint says it makes 5 per run. So the market price is just multiplied by the number of items made per run to give you 5 million. And then, pardon me, net profit is the market price subtracted from, or market price minus the job or number of runs. However, there's a bug in this that I've fixed, where it didn't take into account the number of runs, but that's been fixed. So in the new version of this, net profit should be about negative 210 million. Yeah. Now, if you wanted to edit this, you couldn't edit this here. You would have to go back to edit/create and open it from there. And then you'd be able to edit it. Now, if you're just working on a file, editing it, you can hit the reload button, and it'll pull up this information. Now, there's another bit of this that is handy. You can click on these buttons, and it will show you how much it costs to make this item. In case the cost to make it, to buy it from the market, is more than the cost it would be to make it at, say, a POS or in a station or whatever. Just kind of gives you lets you know maybe if you should get materials from the market, or if you should just buy them or make them for yourself. Yeah. And if the material has no parts to it, like if it's just a mineral, nothing will happen. Now, these over here, well, like I said, this one is meaningless. I have to disable that in the next version. But this right here, this is the number of blueprint runs you plan on doing. So let's say we want to do 10 runs. So if we hit the reload button, it'll do 10 times these numbers right here. If we hit the reload button, you can see that all these numbers are just multiplied by 10. Now, another thing is you can also add in Starbase material efficiency bonuses. So like if you're doing this at a pos, you usually get about 2% for ships or items or whatever. So we can hit 2% in there. And if we hit reload, we should see that the amount of titanium should decrease that we need. And we can see that it has decreased by a little over 2 million. And you can put any number into here. Let's say you're using a Thuka array, you can put 15% in there. And, quite a dramatic decrease. Or if you just, if you just want to see what would happen, you can put 100% in here. And all these numbers go down to 0. Alright, now let's put that back to normal. Now, when you're selling this stuff, this will also allow you to put in your taxes that you may have to, pay. So like I usually pay 3.2% at trade hubs from taxes. So I'll put in 3.2%. And you'll see that the net profit down here will change. I'll set this back to 1 because that'll make the numbers easier to read. And so what this does is, in its calculation, it does market price minus this number minus market price multiplied by taxes, or your tax percentage. So if we hit reload, actually let's put this at 0 so you can see the original number. So it's at about 190, and if we put taxes at 3.2%, then it goes to, a little higher. And then the last thing you can do with this is there's a master file in here. It has most of the items that are in the database, and you can, whenever you add more blueprints to the database, you can add them to this master file. Or actually, it doesn't have to be this master file. It just has to be some file, and then you select it later on, and I'll show you how to do that. In fact, we can add a duck to this one. Don't have to put any extensions, just the name of the file. Save it, close it, and then click this button, sort through master file to find best. Now it actually doesn't do any sorting right now, but that's something I'll add later. So we click the master file, click open, and it'll take a minute to run because it's got a lot of data to process. It actually might crash. I'm not sure. It's crashed in the past when it's done this, so I'm not sure if it'll crash now or what it's going to do. Actually, this process is slower if this box is present on the screen. This will take a lot longer to do than if you just opened the program and clicked this. Oh, there it went. It crashed. So let's reload it. So like I was saying, if you just open the program and click this button and open the master file, then it should take about 10 seconds for it to run. Just wait, and it'll finish soon. Oh, there it goes. And the file you want to look for is called readout. It's in all caps. Let's just go look for it real fast. There it is. It's about 10 kilobytes. And basically when it does this, it finds the net profit of every item in that master file I showed you earlier. And it shows you, what the item is and what its net profit is. And if we scroll through here, we can see that there should be one here. Oh yeah, Dragoon or Coercer. You make about 256,000 per hull you build. Now, this can also reflect taxes. So let's say you put job runs at 10, Starbase ME bonus at 2, and tax percentage at 3.2. In fact, since we're looking at Dragoon, let's set job runs back at 1. Let's redo it. Again, it takes a little time to run. Just have to be patient. Alright, now let's go open up the file. I think Dragoon was at 256,000. And shoot, where did we see it? Dang. There it is. Okay. So now we can see that the prices, or the net profit, has obviously changed. And I don't need to do it for the job runs because it will, I think you get the idea already that it will reflect whatever numbers you punch into here. Now there's one extra thing that will make this program a little more useful. These files at the top are just collections of all the other item files. So we can go to Battle Cruisers and open that up in the edit window. And this is useful for just editing the prices of the battle cruisers or whatever item. It could be minerals. So we can go to Use Central, look up Harbinger, and you can use whatever price you want. I use the sell order prices, so we can say 48.8 million. And in fact, that's already what it is. But we'll, what the hell? Let's say it's 50 million, just to show you that it'll work. So we can hit save, and then reload, and you can see here that the price of the Harbinger is 50 million. And of course you can click on it and see that is definitely not profitable to make. And of course, you know, you can do this for anything. You can do it for ships or components or like minerals or ice products. I don't have any prices set for this because I don't make fuel, but it's there for you to use. And that's pretty much all I have to show you about how to use this. If you have any questions about how to use this, you know, I'm Emerithe, so just send me a mail, and you know, if you have any questions.